So I've had a bit of an idea for today's video. I want to do reviews. They're going to be reviews that are slightly different and not just review the latest equipment. Whatever I'm reviewing, I generally will take it on the golf course and play in a tournament, either using the equipment, wearing something. I'm going to try and do a little filming in the shop, but I'm aware that you have to have permission to film. Hopefully I can get a little bit of content and you can see what I'm up to and what we're actually going to buy. So a quick drive across the bay from Brixham to Torquay to go and do some shopping. Oh, proper team. And I'm going to look for some box sets, cheap as possible. I've even got tailor-made bags here. I think I might buy a half set and stick it in my own bag. Right, so I need a driver. Grab a fairway wood as well. Half set of them. Grab a putter. I'm so tempted. What about a 64-degree wedge? I think that's everything I need. Should I grab the slash new ball? So I bought a driver, a 5-wood, half set of irons, a sand wedge and a putter. £152.42 spent. I think I'm ready to go shoot under par. So this is a little 5-wood off the first tee, 200 yards into the wind, a little bit high off the face and a little bit spinny. So I pulled out the 56-degree wedge and unfortunately struck it slightly thin, not really got the elevation, it's caught the rough. Left myself a long putt, hit this putt quite hard, but the putt is quite soft off the face with the insert, it's come up a fraction short. It feels a little bit dead off the face. So left with 10 foot now, just hit it just outside left, need a good stroke and a little bit of pace to this putt. Wind is slightly off the left and into, so aim a little bit left. I'm just going to play a little cut. I'm really happy with this strike, straight out the middle. Distance was a bit shorter than I'd expect. A little bit concerned that these irons wouldn't spin and they'd come out almost like a fly off the fairway, so I hit 8 iron, but unfortunately it came up a fraction short. It actually felt decent off the face as well, which was quite surprising. So just off the green, a putt breaking from the right, hit an awful strike here and it came up short. It got what it deserved. Grip on this putter is very thin. I've hit an awful yippy putt here, not good. I would definitely replace it with a thicker grip. So the driver had started rattling after one shot and I was a little bit concerned I was going to cave the face. So I swung this a little bit softer than I would and hit a little cut down the right hand side of the fairway. The lie wasn't great and I wish I'd have bought the rescue club. I've hit a terrible strike here, really high on the face. It's come out dead and cut to the right hand side, not a good shot. A little punchy 8-iron now under the tree, just into the left-hand side of the green. Left myself a long birdie putt up the hill. Never hit it hard enough. I don't think I could physically hit it that hard. I do like the alignment aid on top of the putter with the line, but that is a terrible putt. I'm a bit annoyed with myself and then I've missed a tap-in. Pulled out a 6-iron here. I've struck it right on the heel of the golf club. It's very spinny, it's gone higher than I'd expect, and it's not going to have the carry to make the green. Thought it had carried the bunker, but it hadn't. The line with bunker was decent, lots of sand, lots of bounce, and I'm really pleased with the execution of this shot. Don't feel comfortable with this putter, but then again, I don't feel comfortable with any putter. Again, hit what I thought was a decent putt, tried to get it past the hole, and it's come up short again. Short tap in for bogey, just while I'm adjusting to these clubs. I'm dropping a few shots. Out of bounds on the right hand side, so I'm trying to hit down the left. I've hit a smothered hook at the toe of the golf club, finding this driver not that forgiving. The flight is quite low as well. Tried to hit a hooky little 4-iron, but again, not quite struck the middle of the club, not got much elevation. It's caught the rough and took probably 60 or 70 yards off the shot. 210 yards left. I know this 5-wood's not getting there, so I'm hitting it down the left hand side to come up short of the bunker and to give myself a little pitch onto the green. Absolutely middled this, but only got 199 yards out of it. Decent lie in the rough, just going to make sure I commit to the shot. Played it really nicely, loved the flight on it. One bounce, it's actually checked up and gone in there stiff. I'm very good at this length. And that is my first par. This hole will play long. I've hit driver. Again, slightly cutty, slightly spinny. Lower flight than I'd hoped, but it's gone literally nowhere. 5-wood from the top of the hill, hit this slightly fat, took a lot of power out of it. The club's not that forgiving and it's only gone just over 160 yards. Tried to hit a little knockdown wedge here from 94 yards, hit a decent strike. It looked like it was going to be in the middle of the green. The wind held it up. It landed on the green and actually span back off the front of the green, which really surprised me. Decided to chip this with a low lofted club, particularly after I'd left loads of putts short and didn't think I'd get it to the hole. Played this nicely, but it didn't really check up and ran on sort of 5-foot past. This putt has left centre, just slightly pulled it. Not a great stroke, and it's missed. Double bogey on the card. First hole that is downwind, and I didn't want to lose it to the right. Hit a decent strike here, and I'm pleased. Look, a little bit more distance out of the club, which is good. Was a little bit surprised how far it actually went. 64 yards, tried to open the face a little bit and cut one up there. Just pushed it a fraction right. The wind's got it because it's downwind and it's gone onto the top tier. Downhill 20-foot putt. I've read it from the left-hand side as you look up the lens, right-hand side from where I'm putting. Decent putt, left me an easy little tap-in par. 94 yards, just hitting a little wedge straight into the wind. Expecting it to spin. Pleased with the strike, struck it nice. Decent flight on it, past the pin. Had a little bit of spin, only maybe a yard, not enough really to bring it straight back to the hole. This is my best putt of the day. Hit it exactly where I aimed. Good pace on it. Thought I had it halfway. Left myself an easy little tap-in par. Starting to get used to the clubs. Trying to hit a little low hook down here. Keep it down the left-hand side. Leave myself a good angle into the pin. Hit a really good 8-iron here. Straight out the middle of the bat. Like the actual flight on it. Looks like it's all over the pin. But when we get up there, it's going to be a fraction short. Maybe could have hit another club. Left myself another long putt. Really concentrating on the pace rather than the line. Slightly tugged it to the left, but left myself sort of 5-6 foot, which I didn't have any problem finishing. Last hole into the wind, and I've hit a 6-iron, not an 8-iron, mainly because I came up short on the last hole. Really good strike, but the wind has got it and it's long. 7-iron would have been the perfect club. Short side of myself here, pulled out the sand wedge, hands forward, tried to bump it into the bank. Pleased with the strike and really pleased with the execution of the shot. 10 foot left for par down the hill. Just concentrate on making a decent stroke and getting that ball running at the hole. Went dead centre, really pleased with that. The first hole back towards the clubhouse and it's downwind. Hit driver because it normally goes about 5-wood distance, and I'd hit 5-wood off this tee in a normal round of golf. Nice little draw on this shot. Played a little pitching wedge, trying to control the flight and keep it down. Really pleased with the distance control here and left myself a makeable birdie putt. Starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with the putter. Hit a really good putt here and I thought I'd hold another one. It just slipped by on the top side. Easy tap in par. This is a tee shot I don't particularly like. Pulled driver out and this was my best drive of the day. Straight out the middle. It actually felt really good and felt like a proper driver. It's gone 281 yards. Chose the sand wedge here from 91 yards. Was going to hit wedge, but didn't want to go past the hole. Hit it a fractionally thin, hoping it would spin. It didn't. It just dropped and stopped, but past the hole, leaving an awful downhill putt. Hit this putt slightly out of the toe. Wasn't a very good strike, and it's always going to come up short, leaving a really awkward putt. Had this putt as left centre. Not a good stroke this. Awful push to the right, which missed the hole. That is me and not the putter. Deliberately playing a little cut down the left hand side here, trying to get it to the green. Probably got a chance downwind if I hit it as good as I did on 12. Didn't quite connect with it. Hit it slightly hill, but still a decent result. Little pitch shot up the green. Feeling quite confident after the last couple of chips with this club, but didn't execute it very well. Left myself a long birdie putt with a lot of break on. Really pleased with this putt. Got it to the hole side, and again an easy tap in par. Again playing a little cut from the left hand side, trying to find it at the fairway. Decent one here. I should get up in 2, but need a good drive, and that is a good drive straight out the middle of the golf club. 236 yards left and probably out of range, but I've actually middled this and got a flyer, so it should get near the green. Left myself an uphill putt for eagle, hoping to 2-putt it really. Going to hit this pretty straight and hopefully we can make a decent stroke, which that was. Again, just missed on the left side, but an easy tap in birdie and my first birdie with a slash into clubs. The issue I've got here is carrying the rough between the two fairways. I've hit it okay. It's not as good as the last two, and unfortunately didn't make the carry and it's landed in the rough, which just took all the distance out of it. Left myself exactly 100 yards. The strike here was terrible. It's slightly thin. It wasn't a great execution of shot, but it's got to pin high, but left the target. Another putt with considerable amount of break on it. Just really trying to 2-putt it. Again, decent stroke up the left hand side. Got a chance of going in, but just stayed on the high side. Nice easy tap in par. Feeling a bit more comfortable with the putter now. 141 yards, 8 iron. Just again, sawn off finish, trying to hold it up there into the wind. The wind is across, and I'm pleased with where it's finished. One of the better strikes of the day. Another makeable putt. Again, swinging a bit from the right hand side. Decent strokes, just missed on the low side. Again, nice little tap in for par. Almost the same yardage as the previous hole. Pulled down an 8 iron. I thought the strike on the previous hole was good, but this was even better. Landed in the middle of the green and then span back to the hole, which was quite impressive with the Schlesinger irons. Really started to get the pace of the greens with this putter. Got to hit it harder than my actual putter I'm using currently. Another good putt, this time past the hole, leaving again a short tap in par putt. Not the best strike here, fractionally high off the face. I'm noticing if you don't quite middle it, you'll lose sort of 10 to 15% distance. It's not that forgiving, this driver, although I've hit it reasonably well today. Small wedge in here, good strike, nice control again. I'm starting to get the distance with these irons, and I actually quite like them. They're not bad. I mean, for $16.99 you can't go wrong. Wouldn't it be nice to finish with a birdie? Started on the line I wanted to. Unfortunately didn't have the pace correct and left it a fraction short. Pleased with that round. Particularly the level par back nine, which could have been under par. Driving distance slightly shorter. Fairways and greens about the same. And +7 score, slightly higher than I'd hoped. A quick summary. I've just used the clubs as you've seen. And I understand that as a decent-ish golfer, I can adapt. And I've been playing long enough to be able to game most equipment and still have reasonable results. Obviously the results aren't as good as if I was using the clubs I currently game. However, I did have a little bit of success with them. You'll notice I like the irons particularly. They didn't go as far as my current sub 70 set. The flight was decent, the dispersion was good, and I could probably game them, and particularly if I did a bit of practice with them and work with them, then I feel like the results would be decent. The putter felt very dead off the face. Strike the ball and hit the putt a little bit harder. So as we went, I got a little bit more consistent, and I wasn't leaving myself the awkward length putts. However, the main issue and the main difference between a starter set and your better brands and your named brands is the woods. You lose a little bit of distance as well. I struck it quite well today, to be honest. I swung it nicely, so it wasn't massive, but the flight with my driver was really low. It was low spinning. It was almost sort of dipping out the sky, and I was also moving the ball quite a bit from left to right. And the driver also started to rattle. I hit one shot with it, and either a little bit of glue came loose or maybe a little bit of metal inside the head, and it started rattling. But I mean, what do you expect for sort of 26 pound The other thing that I noticed as well is the actual grips on every club. The rubber is not particularly good or high quality, and they were a little bit hard to start with. You'd expect a new grip. They're not sealed when you buy them, so those clubs could be a couple of years old, so the rubber does start to deteriorate and start to perish. And they haven't sealed the grips, which is probably more the point. Seal their grips. When you take them off, they're absolutely brand new and fresh. The lack of head covers as well. Why not stick some, like, even if they're just a cheap sock like head cover, but stick head covers on the woods. It just protects them. The paintwork on them is going to start to chip. Would I recommend buying a starter set? As a junior, yes, I think it's a good idea because you're not going to have them long term. But for me, I've paid £150 in total for the clubs. You'd be better going and buying a second-hand set off eBay or likewise like Golf Bidder and going and get the clubs fitted. I feel like you'll get better quality product, better materials they're made of, and they're going to last longer as well. You could probably buy a sort of 5-6 year old set if you shop around of a similar price rather than buying a brand new starter set. Thanks for watching the video. Remember to hit that like button of this video if you do enjoy it. If you don't, then just don't. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.